The investigation by the Department of Justice revealed that in the past 3 to 5 years, 75% of stops made by Newark police officers were unconstitutional. U.S. Senator Robert Menendez says consumers' information needs to be protected. Go Everywhere is a new social media platform that allows users to use geotags to find out what's going on in their area. From the Dome to here in DeWitt, the Syrian government crossed a red line drawn by President Barack Obama after using chemical weapons on its people. Since the building has been vacant since 2006, selling off all of this old furniture is really helping to pave the way for the building's future. At some point, Jose will have his day in court here in Newark, and his attorney says he has a pretty good shot at being able to legally stay in the U.S. What Lenora says she needs the most right now is a new roof. As you can see, her cat is peeping out through the attic ceiling and onto the roof. The taxi app Uber is a great way to make money for John, a driver who doesn't want us to use his last name.
Around here you can make 500 to maybe 1,000 if you work really hard a week, right? That really helps a lot of people out.
But is it legal? New Jersey state law says limo and taxi drivers have to be licensed in the town they operate in. But some Uber drivers, like John, don't have a taxi license and they're using their own cars to pick people up. On top of that, John is not telling his personal insurance company about driving for Uber because the company would cancel his policy.
It could be a real financial disaster for somebody who takes it upon themselves either to drive with a personal lines policy or to make that determination that they're not going to tell their insurance company because, in fact, that is illegal to do so.
Basically, everybody's sneaking around doing that. They're sneaking around.
Licensed limo and taxi cab drivers in New Jersey told us they can't compete with the prices Uber is charging. One taxi cab driver told us he's lost 50% of his business in the past month alone due to competition with Uber.
Now, hardly make a living. Very hard.
Sam Towdress has been driving for AA Taxi in Jersey City for 5 years. He says Uber's popularity hurt his business.
If they come and work with the same rules that you work with, welcome with them. It's open, open market. But when they come with their own, rules, that's very hard to compete with.
We reached out to Uber for a response. A spokesperson told us in part, Uber is working with New Jersey policymakers to modernize transportation regulations, protect riders and drivers, expand consumer choice, and increase opportunities for drivers. In Jersey City, I'm Carolyn Blackburne. Lenore Monkmeyer is 72 years old, and she spent more than half of her life here at 717 Livingston.
His name is Goldie.
The Syracuse University grad moved in 41 years ago, but her house is not the home it used to be.
We have a practice ballet studio on the second floor.
Lenore and her disabled niece have been living without heat and electricity for 3 years.
You can wear 5 skirts if you want to during the day or even during the night, whatever. And that keeps you really warm.
And they haven't had running water for nearly 6 years.
No, it doesn't. Oh, it drips a little.
Lenora says she couldn't keep up with her taxes since her job as a ballet teacher didn't pay much.
I only make $746 a month from Social Security for my earnings from when I work.
What Lenora says she needs the most right now is a new roof. As you can see, her cat is peeping out through the attic ceiling and onto the roof. But now, the senior sandwiched between students is having her story shared all over Facebook, and locals are lifting Lenora to her feet again. In about 2 weeks, her entire roof will be repaired, free of charge.
You know that? I knew that, there's no way, she'd be able to really afford it, so I told her that I would take care of it. She was getting prices like $40,000, $44,000. I mean, that's really a lot of money.
Where's Sue?
And Lenora's neighbors are donating food, dropping off warm coats.
I'm gonna be warm.
And trimming her hedges.
Look like a jungle before. I like a jungle, but the city doesn't quite like a jungle.
She's a very optimistic person. She doesn't let the things that would maybe bring tons of other people down bring her down.
And for now, Strangers leaving homemade cookies at her front door is enough to make her home sweet home a little sweeter. For NCC News, I'm Carolyn Blackburne. Newark police stole from people they arrested, violated citizens' rights, and used unreasonable force. All that comes from a report released by the Justice Department today.
The remedial measures that are outlined in the agreement in principle will include significant changes to the department's policies and procedures for stopping and questioning people, when and how officers use force.
The report found 85% of people stopped by police in Newark were black, though blacks make up just over half the population.
So it stands to reason that if the police are stopping people in Newark for impermissible or insufficient reasons, the people who are most likely to have that happen to them are black.
The investigation by the Department of Justice revealed that in the past 3 to 5 years, 75% of stops made by Newark police officers were unconstitutional.
Up to 75%. That is a completely unacceptable number. It shows that there's widespread constitutional violations.
Newark Mayor Raz Baraka says the reform should fix the relationship between the Newark PD and the people they protect.
One could look at this 22 days in as the mayor that the roof is caving in. But I look at it as an opportunity to build a new roof.
Newark will be the first municipal police agency in the state to operate under a federal watchdog. In Newark, I'm Carolyn Blackburne.